You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the fight as Carapace, Rex, Magnum, Wildstrike, and Sweet Spot fight their way through Iacon's underworld against criminal empires and a movement determined to bring an end to the Cybertronian Confederation.
Welcome back, and thank you all for joining us for episode 2 of Empire of Rust. And an even bigger thank you to all the folks who commented on Twitter, posted on Facebook, and had kind words for us on Discord. Last episode we had a long intro, so I'll keep this one short. If you're liking the show, please rate and review wherever you get podcasts. And now, on to the show. When we last left our heroes, a bomb had just blown up next to the building, mostly due to Pythagoras.
Well, to be fair, I didn't put it there in the first place.
Nor did I.
Well, in the way you did, I mean...
You ever been hard-pressed to try to get rid of a bomb?
I have demonstrated how not to do it. It's probably better than it would have been where it was.
Walk us through what is going through Pythagoras' head over here.
Pythagoras wants to tell everyone to evacuate, and he needs to evacuate the people who are up with him, because the structural integrity of this building isn't going to hold out for very much longer.
No. Do you blame yourself?
Having recriminations? It's only been about 5 seconds, so... Well, upon sober reflection, considering not dying yet, I'll think about that later.
We guilt really fast.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot better than tossing it in the middle of a crowd, I mean...
That was an option?
That's what I thought you were going to do when you said you were going to throw the bomb. It's like, where are you going to throw it? Into the building? All right, it's just going to blow up in there. Out the window? I was just going to go in the crowd. I was going to hate you.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I didn't have a good place to target. Like, I figured the only way I could do it is get it up in the air. But,
So destroy the other
yeah,
rescue
I didn't
party.
want to do that either. Destroy the other rescue parties.
We can warn the others that there might be secondary bombs, because if this one had a bomb and it was on a timer, then maybe all the other ones are going off at the same time.
In my brief engineering check, could I tell whether this is deliberate or...
You haven't heard any other bombs go off at the same time as this one did? So you probably imagine that it was maybe just a mistake that whoever put the bomb there had hit 8 instead of 1 or something like that. Maybe it hit, instead of a 10-minute timer, he put this one on like a 30-minute timer.
It could be a proximity trigger. Like I said with the first retaliators, like, hey, we go in, and as soon as somebody gets close to it, sets itself off.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you don't need a timer and a proximity trigger.
But you're not able to figure out if it was deliberately set longer than the other ones, or if it was simply a mistake.
Well, considering this building is less damaged, it probably was a mistake, because it was intended that one to go off too. So anyway, upon sober reflection, let's get the hell out of here.
I was going to say, if the bomb is literally going to blow up, like, Carapace's instinct is to try to run over on top of him and protect him from
that would be great.
From the blast and because if the building collapses, I can absorb the hit, and he won't. Are you small enough that if I transform around you, I could actually put you inside of me?
Right? I mean, if you have a place for, like, a cockpit or something like that, yeah. But we have these two dudes, too, so, I mean,
Well, the Pteranodon can fly away.
Well, the Pteranodon can fly out the window.
Yeah.
And the Raptor, well, if he comes down here, maybe the Pteranodon can break his fall to get out of the window. And then you could do what you said and drive down the stairs or something. I don't know.
So the bomb goes off along the roof, right near where floor 7 is, and the explosion shakes the entire building. I need all of you to make a reflex save.
Sweet Spot, I rolled a 4, which means I got 11. Pretty good with the reflex. However, the roll, not so much. Is that a bomb?
You can't tell what's going on because obviously you didn't see the bomb or see anything going on up there, but you did feel the effects of it as the building starts shaking under your feet. Rex, but you and your friends.
I rolled a 1, so I'm under the building right now.
What about Pteranodon and Raptor?
So Pteranodon's flying.
So he is fine?
I don't know what kind of saves they have, but he's got a dex. Raptor has a 16 dex and I rolled an 18, so... My guess is probably fine, right?
21 minimum.
Either way.
He'll be okay. Carapace.
Carapace rolled has an 18, but his intention is to protect Pythagoras.
Okay.
So, and if that means going out the window, like and taking the fall, or just jumping on top of him and then having the building collapse on top of him, either's fine with it.
Wildstrike.
Wildstrike at a 16.
Pythagoras got a 10, and Magnum got a 8, I think it was.
Is that with the penalty?
That is with the penalty, yes.
The penalty is that since he is a structure former and he transforms into a building, essentially, his dex is going to be at a -5.
As though 0?
As though, yeah.
Okay.
As though.
Although he is a structure as well, so he's not on feet, so he falls over, he falls over.
Okay, so it is Rex, Pythagoras, and Sweet Spot who are in a little bit of trouble right here. Fine, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just get some dice here. Just a couple of dice, that's all. So Sweets and Rex and Pythagoras are each going to take 5 damage. But Pythagoras don't take the damage yet. The rest of you are going to take 1. However, Carapace, you said you want to protect Pythagoras as much as possible.
Yarp.
So if you want to, I will let you take the damage for him.
Yep.
And he will take none.
Okay, I would like that.
Alright, so you will take 5. Pythagoras gets away scot-free.
Thank you very much. Even though I'm going to be completely surprised by a giant robot jumping on top of me. So is this from the initial blast and the shake?
Nope. The damage you're taking is because the building is coming down.
Okay, so they're just almost immediately just...
Yep, the bomb goes off, shakes whatever is left of the structural integrity on this place, destroys a couple of load-bearing supports on the upper level. The roof falls into the 7th floor, which then falls into the 6th floor, into the 5th, and the entire thing comes down like a giant stack of pancakes. All of you manage to jump and dodge and avoid the worst of it, and some of you are able to kind of get outside of a window, and some of you are kind of stuck as the building collapses.
Was the damage considered physical? Because in my form I have damage reduction just because I have armor on, effectively.
Yes, it is.
So it does apply. Awesome. Okay, so I have damage reduction 1 when I am in combined form, and 2 when I'm in tank form.
Oh, very nice.
I'm not in tank form right now, so...
And yes, that would apply to all of you as well. If you have any DR, that will get taken off the top on that.
Does the building, what's the term for you? Structure former? Mm-hmm. Like, do you guys gain hardness when you're, like, since you have no dex?
He has hardness, yes. He has 2 hardness when he's in structure form. Which I was going to ask you, since I don't think you mentioned Magnum. Does he take the 5 damage? Presumably he failed, like the rest of them? Or is he a special case since he can't jump out of the building?
I would say he takes the full damage as though he failed to save, because he can't really jump out.
Well, he got an 8 anyway, so he failed. I can imagine he made the save.
The penalty to being a structure former in that case really just, that's the penalty for it, so...
But you only take 3.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
Transformers. The only RPG where you can, at level 1, have a building dropped on you and survive.
Or have a building dropped on top of another building.
So I have just revealed this map of, essentially, a broken building. As you can see, all of you are in different areas, and the blue circles that you are seeing are the corpses of other bots that you have not discovered in this building.
Well, if they weren't dead before.
They are certainly now. The exit is off to the north. Why don't we roll initiative here? First time we rolled initiative on the podcast.
Nice.
Why don't we start with you, Sweet Spot?
Got me at 23.
Rex.
Rex got a 19.
And your companions are going to go on your initiative. Carapace.
Carapace is a 22. Rolled very well.
Wildstrike.
Wildstrike got 7.
That's a pretty low roll then, buddy.
Yeah.
And finally, Magnum and Pythagoras.
I think I missed what you said to him. Maybe. Do they all go on the same initiative?
Yeah, just for simplicity's sake, there.
I mean, they have the same modifier, right? Well, not at the moment, but Whose deck should I use?
Well, I would use the not -5 decks.
Well, I'm just wondering if I have a choice, because...
Why don't you use Magnum? Or not Magnum's, Pythagoras.
Pythagoras is the only one who's actually
acting.
doing stuff. Okay. 12.
So did like the building actually like collapse?
Pancaked, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. Now I want pancakes.
You always want pancakes.
Who doesn't always want pancakes? They're pancakes.
So the order is as follows. Sweet Spot coming in first. Carapace not very far behind.
Yeah.
Followed by Rex, followed by Magnum, and then followed up by Wildstrike. So, Sweet Spot, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you want to do?
Oh my gosh.
It looks like you have quite a bit of ground to cover, and you have some friends that you have not seen yet.
Okay, well, out of the friends that are near me that I can hopefully see, you guys all right? You hurt? Got any broken limbs? Can you transform? Can you get out of here? Can you get out of my way?
Can you stop asking so many fucking questions?
Gonna suck you in the mouth. I was gonna say, can we get a word in edgewise?
Well, obviously you're okay. Either that was a bomb, or you have some faulty exhaust.
As you can tell, I'm okay.
All right. How about you?
I'm good. How are you, though?
I'm pretty good. Just need you to get out of my way, though. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic in here. Want to go. I will transform and just edge my way until they get out of my way. Beep. Beep, beep, beep.
You honking horns for rubble?
Carapace, you are in a separate group with Pythagoras and Pteranodon and Raptor. You can't quite see where the other group is, but you can see your friends around you, and you were successful in protecting Pythagoras during the collapse.
Well, so for the Raptor and the Pteranodon, I'm like, hey, if you guys want to get under me, so that like while I move, you're not just being destroyed. So I have an ability that allows me to move through difficult terrain without any difficulty. Like I'm not slowed down by it. And as a tank, I can pretty much kind of drive through things. But I would like Pythagoras and Laser and Blazer to be underneath me so that as I move, they're not being crushed. And if I can pull them inside of me, I don't know how big they are.
They're tiny, so they could if you have a cockpit, they could sit in it.
Okay.
You know.
Then I'll do that.
All right, let's drive around in the tank.
Yeah, I'll turn into a tank.
Is anyone else aroused by the last 5 sentences?
Only the last 5?
Try not to think about that.
I've been aroused since I jumped on his
You
head.
try not thinking about that.
Who are you kidding? His best friend's a structure, you know.
Sounds like a solid relationship. It's got a good foundation.
So that's what Carapace wants to do. Wants to gather up everyone nearby so he can...
Because I can move through probably without much difficulty. It's just like 5 feet per round, I just move.
How are you going to move this turn, or spend the turn gathering?
Yeah, I'll make sure that they're inside and then transform with them inside of them. So.
Next up, Rex, what do you want to do? Sweets has just told you to get the hell out of the way.
So sick of sweets, but I do love them. Rex will start moving out of the way. We need to find a way out of here and find all our friends and find some friends for sweets. Anybody at all?
I'll put on my headlights so we can see.
I thought those were fake headlights.
Those are
decals.
not fake.
I'm gonna rip them right off right now to prove it.
If you do, it's gonna hurt.
Won't hurt me.
Don't do it.
It turns out they were stickers.
No.
I told you. I know a decal when I see one.
I'm in so much denial.
I mean, showing your headlights only gets to certain kinds of friends. I mean, honestly.
Is that how you get your position?
No.
Sweets?
Yes.
Well, he does move fast.
You just move forward in 2 or 3, or...
Yeah, I guess. Hello, anybody there?
So as you come around that corner, you notice a little round object kind of sitting in the rubble.
The bomb? Is it another bomb?
Nope, it is not a bomb. Are you going to examine it or ignore it?
I'll look at it.
Look at it, it looks...
Like a bomb.
It looks like a security drone.
Looks like a security drone, everybody. I found a security drone, I think.
And as you are looking at it, you can see that it apparently is scanning you.
Looks like it's scanning me, everybody. This is bad.
And as it's scanning you, you kind of get a bit of a closer look to the side there, and you see that it's got a little bit of damage on it.
It looks damaged. It's scanning me and it's damaged. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
I've seen this movie.
It looks like it's trying to bring its weapons to bear against you.
No. It's got a bear with weapons.
More animals? Come on.
I will tame this one and make it my own.
This is how all of my relationships start.
And as you keep on looking at it,
You just shoot me for crying out loud.
that's exactly what it's going to do. As you are looking at it, it comes active, floats into the air, aims its guns at you, and tries to shoot you.
It shoots me. So I get for now, let you go first.
It's going to be 16 to hit. EAC.
I got a 12. You're going to hit me with everything.
Alright, it floats up into the air, aims its weapons at your face, and hits you for 5 damage. Max damage.
What type of damage?
The owie kind?
Electricity.
That hurt everybody. Tell my 20 animals, companions, that I love them.
20.
I'll tell you, man.
He's not actually a bot. He's actually just a collection of animals.
I'm an animal combiner.
I know he's already. He's a combiner already.
He's the Hydra version of a Transformer. You kill one head, 2 more will take its place.
Or the rat guy from Coraline.
Ah, yes, the Rat Man.
After Rex takes the hit, all of you notice that 2 other security bots, both also who have a bit of damage to them, looks like they are active in the rubble and scanning for targets.
I think these should be recalled because they obviously didn't help when someone was running around shooting up the place, unless it was them.
I'm pretty sure they're the ones that were shooting up the place.
Or otherwise, though, it's like they weren't useful to then, and now they've taken a little damage, and the first thing they do is hunt down civilians.
They're discount security bots.
We let Ironhide know that we're being attacked by discount security bots.
If you want to.
Cyber Acme.
Magnum and Pythagoras.
You told us on the comm that you're getting shot by these things?
Pretty sure I did.
He relayed everything.
Pretty sure it was a 5-minute conversation I just had. Pythagoras.
Alright, well, he's in the tank, so he can't do anything. So Magnum's gonna take a shot at this thing, assuming can he see it from here?
Yes. So he has weapons he can bring to bear?
Yep, his gun is linked, so...
And what is Link?
A link is an inventory item that you can use while you're in your alternate form. So, if it's a linked weapon and you transform into a vehicle, then you have a mounted weapon, or whatever you transform into, you have a mounted weapon. If it's a tech item, it's something that you can use that's sort of built in. It's basically built-in equipment and weapons when you're in alternate form. If something's not linked, then it just sort of goes in the storage. And every different class, I think the theme, the alt forms have different numbers of slots that they can say how many weapons you can have, and so forth.
How many does each of us have?
Well, Magnum has 2 weapon slots.
Sweet Spot actually has 1 tech slot, 1 weapon slot, and 3 cargo slots.
Carapace, as a tank, has 5 tech slots and 8 weapon slots, which is not to be confused with 8 weapons. It's 8 bulk worth of weapons.
And the 8 bulk worth of weapons that you can actually use while you're in. Doesn't mean you actually fire 8 weapons until you gain the ability to fire 8 weapons.
Correct.
But you could theoretically fire 8 weapons in your alt form.
Rex has 1 weapon and 1 tech slot.
Magnum has 6 tech slots. Pythagoras doesn't have any.
One of the things that's special about linked weapons is they do not count against your bulk for what you can actually carry. Since they are actually part of you, they're not extra weight. So that's a big difference because, like in my case, even though I'm not, like I have 80 pounds of weapon I can theoretically carry, but that doesn't mean I'm carrying 8 bulk worth of stuff. So these guns are independent of my actual carrying capacity, which makes a huge deal for most characters later on.
15.
EAC?
It's KC.
Still makes it. Go ahead and roll your damage.
5 damage.
Alright, that takes it. It does not blow up. It is not destroyed yet.
Since I'm in tank form right now, I actually have multiple weapons. Can Pythagoras theoretically fire my weapons while inside of me?
No, because your weapons are essentially are hardwired into yourself.
Okay.
Whereas if he was on like Magnum's actual form, the weapons that are designed to be wielded by someone else. There's like a gunnery station that you can say, all right.
I can eventually turn into a battle station, in which case he would be able to, but not yet.
Correct. Wildstrike, you are up.
I will move forward, and I'm assuming I can see those two security if I move up. Like here or so.
Yep, you can see the one to your northeast and your southwest.
Okay. I'm going to fire on the one that shot at Rex over there.
Okay, the one to the northeast.
Yep. And I'm going to use my azimuth laser rifle. Take a shot. A 10.
10 is a miss.
I figured. I'll call up Sweet and say, come on, move forward. Watch out for the bots.
Bots? What bots? You mean like the bot that shot? That's gonna leave a mark. I will drive up around Wildfire and then skid out around Rex and shine my high beams stickers on on that security droid to kind of light it up.
They're advanced stickers. High-tech stickers.
Well, I will also use my
stickers.
mounted force missile.
And that's your special power, correct?
Yes, it is.
And what, pray tell, is a special power?
Special power. Everybody gets one. It's off of a list of various things that boss can get. I'm not sure what the majority of the list was, but force missile seemed like the right thing for me to get. Basically, it's like a magic missile.
There's no magic in here.
No, there isn't any magic. So it is a force missile. A little projectile that fires out, pretty much never misses, does a little bit of damage. And so, since I'm aiming right at it, it's going to take 3 points of damage from my missile shot.
Is it a minimum D4 plus 1?
Yes.
And that is enough to blow that one up.
Ho ho!
First kill.
Yes, that's right.
Is this truly your first kill?
Well, the security bots here, are they sentient or just equipment based?
Make a life science.
Obviously, audiences don't count. Because he's killed plenty of audiences.
Nice.
I was thinking roadkill.
I know he's run over a robo-deer in his life somewhere.
Hey, that nearly killed me.
Yeah, I was going to say high octane, you're a little tipsy. Trying to impress your friend.
What was I rolling? I was doing
Life sciences.
science. Life science.
You have life sciences?
I do not, so I cannot.
Looks alive to you.
Oh no. Did I get it? Was that the one that was shooting at you? Please tell me that was the one that was shooting at you.
Is that one right there?
That one right there. That one right there by your face?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. It was self-defense. It's coming to your defense.
It's coming right at you.
It was coming right at me. That's right.
Carapace, you are up next.
Is there one shooting at us from where we are?
Not yet, but you think that it has seen you and is probably going to move towards you as soon as it has a chance.
Okay. Well, I will, I guess I'm going to delay. So if it comes up and it fires at us, I'm going to fire at it. So I'm going to be readying my Red Star Conqueror, which is my primary weapon right now.
Rex, you are up next.
Really?
Sweets just took a swipe at this thing that attacked you and destroyed it.
Shot it with a missile. A little missile, but a fast missile.
He's so
Very
vicious.
potent.
He's so vicious.
So do you envision like a force bullet, or do you actually envision like you actually fire a missile that you can kind of like...
Just a little tiny missile.
Okay, so...
Rex will move up a little bit. Not too far. Don't want to get shot again.
Okay. From there, you
I see the vending machine.
see the vending machine. Yep.
Ah, I just do it now. One of his bandages in that vending machine.
Hello?
You cannot see the other security bot from this angle. There's too much rubble and debris in the way.
Good. Don't want to see it.
Can I warn him, or I'll have to wait till my turn?
It's your turn right now.
All right.
So, Magnum and Pythagoras, what would you like to do?
Pythagoras is going to sit inside the cockpit. Magnum will, I guess, will take another shot at this one that he can see. There's one over there, too. What a hit. It's now thoroughly intimidated.
It's a bit of a miss.
I'm glad it's coming for you now.
I did that on purpose. I didn't have to miss. I don't believe you.
So both of the remaining security bots, not drones, I didn't say drones. Both of the security bots move up and take a shot at the nearest people to them. So the one in the north takes a shot at Magnum, and the one to the south takes a shot at Carapace.
I was readying an action, so I can...
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take that.
So I rolled a 17. My range attack is at a +5, so I hit a 22 against EAC.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And I did max damage, and that is 10 electricity and fire.
And you destroyed the one approaching you.
Which is going to be common for me.
Did anyone hear that? That sounded like an intimidating weapon.
Yeah, above average.
The one approaching Magnum attempts to shoot you with an 11.
No, it's a miss. He's getting shot a warning shot at me, too. But I'm not intimidated.
Wildstrike.
I'm assuming that I heard that security bot fire around the corner.
You heard it, you have not seen it yet.
Perfect. I'm going to move around. See, can I get around the corner there and see it?
Yeah, you can, sure.
Don't worry, Wildstrike. I already got this one.
I'm going after the other one.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 20, so I'll do a critical. This is the azimuth laser rifle, so it's going to fire damage.
So double dice, and does it have a critical effect?
So 7 fire damage, and the critical is burn 1d6.
It takes the damage at the beginning of its round, and at the end of its round, it gets to make a save to put itself out. However, it gets to make a save right now to see whether or not it gets the burning effect.
So 14.
Okay, roll damage. Sweet spot, back to the top of the round is round 3.
All right. Do I think I've got enough room to skid by here?
Looks like you do. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you can probably get as far as Magnum over there.
I will squeeze by here, roll on through this rubble pile, come over here, and aim lights. Light it up. There he is. I got him. He's right there. I suppose at the end of my movement I can transform, right?
Yeah, stay there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will transform, and then I can do nothing else.
Carapace, you're a little far out of range to do anything to the last security bot, but you do have some charges you're protecting, so what are you going to do?
I'm just going to get clear of the rubble. I'll just walk the closest way out to the building, and then once I'm out, I'll let them out.
How far can you move?
My speed is a 4, so I'm assuming 4 squares would be a normal move, but since I'm not doing anything else, I'll do a double move. So, could I go out the building that way?
Heading north would be heading towards the plaza.
Who else was in your cockpit?
Pythagoras and Blazer and Laser.
They all were. Okay.
All except the Triceratops.
Phaser.
Or Blazer 2, you know.
Alright, so we're doing Blazer for the Raptor and Laser for the Pteranodon?
For now.
Yeah. I mean, it was, AB3 before, or 1-2C? One of the two.
Just because it's easier for me to say Blazer just to say Pteranodon. Okay, so up next would be the security bot, who's going to try to take a shot at Sweets because it just shined. Sweets just shined his headlights in his face. He takes offense to this.
They're just decals.
Ooh, that's an 18 to hit.
Hey, hold on now. You don't need to be shooting at me now. I didn't shoot at you. Only your friend.
Well, Magnum isn't moving. You are. That's going to be 2 points of damage, electricity damage to you.
You know what that is? It's speed prejudice. I'm moving faster than him, so you're going to shoot at me? I don't think so.
It's like these things see like T-Rexes, though. Like, motion is the only thing that they...
It still doesn't matter. It's a prejudice. I'm against it. All right, what do I take here?
2 points of damage.
I take 2 points of damage. On top of the building falling on top of me, I'll get another 2 points of damage on top of me.
Oh, you have max ranks and complaining, don't you?
Yeah, I do. You're going to have to buff this out and pull this tent out. Is this a hole? Is this a hole? I'm going to have that completely patched up.
Wildstrike.
I can still see it from there.
You see it from there, and you have a clear shot. Are you going to destroy the thing?
I'll use a full round action for my Mark's Mech 1 ability.
Ooh, what is that?
It allows me to take a single attack as a full round action with an additional 1d8 of damage. Take a shot with the laser rifle again. Does a 16 hit?
16 EAC, I'm assuming?
Yes.
16 hits.
A 9 fire damage from that.
And that is enough to end its mechanical life.
Whoa. That's it. We survived our first fight. Like, really fight. Like, things shooting back at us.
It's very telling that you think this is a fight. You're clearly from the city.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm from the city, and this is just target practice.
You are the city.
Darn tootin', you're right.
So you're like a Titan seed, aren't you?
Yeah, well, some are big, some are bigger. Sort of, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I forgot where I was going with this.
Same place you're always going. Nowhere.
Damn straight. Now, can somebody find my head for me, please?
I got your head.
I appreciate it.
Droid work?
I appreciate it.
You'd be like C-3PO and take different heads on.
Pythagoras will thank Carapace for protecting him and being generally awesome.
That's what I do.
And then he's going to change back.
So I envision, like, I'm just, now that we're out of combat, that, like, as, like, a tank, it's just like, you just hear, like rumbling, and I just, like, come right through the wall. Like, oh.
There was no reason you have to have treads.
Right.
You can have the legs.
I have 6 legs. Nice. I'm like the spider tank from Ghost in the Shell, kind of.
Like, or an STAT or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but a little cooler than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
A little less fragile.
Yes.
I think we're all a little bit cooler than the analogs we think we are.
I think you think you're way cooler than you think you are.
I do. I think I want to thank you for thinking that.
I think you're both fools.
Nobody cares what you think.
You are correct.
Listen, he has really nice decals. Those are genuinely
the
nicest decals I've ever seen for anybody.
Doesn't mean I don't like fools.
Is he paying you?
You know what sarcasm is?
Oh, apparently not.
I thought he'd signed you on as his PR agent.
You make your way out of the rubble now that the security bots are no longer attacking. I'll go ahead and make an engineering check to see if you can figure out what was going on with the bots there.
22, and also to answer I can do a life sciences as well, to answer his earlier question about whether they're actually alive or not.
Yes, please.
Carapace rolled a 5, which means he doesn't know anything.
He's examining like a smoke detector. Doesn't look very threatening. 22 for both engineering and life science.
You can tell that they are drones. They are not intelligent. They're not true Cybertronians. They're just technology. And you think that the damage they suffered, combined with the kind of smoke and debris that's kind of left over in the building, has kind of confused its sensors, and it just kind of figured that anything moving in the area was a threat.
Less likely that they were shooting things before the bomb went off.
You don't believe so?
Does the weapon type that those things use the same as the injuries sustained by the people we found?
No, the injuries that you saw on the bots were essentially like burned holes right through the body, whereas these things were shooting electricity at you. So it didn't actually like destroy any elements on you; it just shorted out your systems.
So the injuries on the other guys were like lasers or plasma or some sort of heat source. So even if the building got bombed and then these things went nuts and started shooting people, it didn't shoot those people. Although I still think it's a major flaw in design. If these things get damaged, they all start going after anybody.
So we're setting a precedent that if we just bonk on a security droid, it'll start shooting at anything at random. Specifically, something that moves. Yeah.
If you collapse a building on it, maybe.
Well, we have a building in the party, so it's actually kind of useful. Hey, fall down on this thing. Why? Trust me. This opens so many options.
Yeah, because every time we really need a droid that's trying to kill us.
It's like a tent that travels with you.
Right, so you take a few minutes and you make your way out of the rubble. As you clear the debris, there is a large group of survivors that you see outside in the plaza. And as you clear the debris, they're all looking at you and cheering that you made it out.
Is Ironhide still there?
Ironhide is still there. And he's like clapping and applauding and everything. It's like, good job, good job, good job.
Yay, we survived. We didn't actually find anybody who was alive.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or we didn't actually...
You did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we sent him out first.
Oh, yeah, that dude.
He threatened him, yeah.
He scared him. Okay. Or the story he told might have been a little different. This scary Decepticon came in and chased me out of the building.
A lot of people were looking at the building as you guys were in there, and they saw a little guy up on the 5th floor throw a bomb upwards.
I didn't mean anything by it, honest.
No, I mean, it was probably a good thing, honestly. Like,
it was intended to be.
Right.
They're not think I'm bombing people.
Because the debris from the building didn't spill out into the plaza or anything. Yeah. It just kind of went straight down. If you think that if you let it go off actually in the building, it would have broken some of the structural members on that side, and the building would have collapsed forward.
It's the firecracker principle. It's like if you throw it on the back of your hand, it'll do some damage, but if you close your hand around it, it's going to blow your hand off.
Well, that's very kind of them. Did they find anybody else in the buildings who were still alive who weren't shot up?
Did you ask Ironhide that?
And did you find more perforated people over there?
We found a couple of survivors. They're going to need some medical attention, and it'll be a while before they can talk again, but they're gonna live. The bot you found on the 3rd floor is gonna live too. You guys did good work today.
You managed to catch him before he ran out of the city.
The survivor?
Yeah. He was going pretty fast last time I saw him.
I suppose he was.
Alright. Any clues who did this?
You actually had a clue when you were up on the 5th floor.
You mean the exploding clue?
No, the symbol on the wall behind you. Because you had looked around, you saw the bomb in the corner, and you saw the symbol on the wall behind you. It looked like it was drawn on.
It was never described because the bomb sort of took attention away. But we did see it, though.
Yep. Go ahead and make a... Who else was up there? It was Rex. Rex, you were there? And Carapace was there?
I was there, and I think you're... Because this was on the 5th floor.
One of you characters.
So it was two of your... It was the Raptor and the...
Blazer and Laser?
Yeah, Blazer and Laser at least passed by. Blazer going up to the 6th floor.
So it would have been difficult for them to communicate that symbol to you. But Carapace and Pythagoras both saw the symbol. You can go ahead and make a culture check to see if you recognize it.
Culture or just the same thing. I have a 20 because I rolled a 19.
I have a 16 because I rolled a 6.
It's nice to have a smart member in the party.
It's still, you beat him on it too.
Yeah.
Good job. It's two characters. One is a stylized C, and it's actually, you recognize it as the glyph that means Cybertron, the planet itself, and the number 1. So essentially it is C1.
So we found some C4 and C1, so we got to find C2 and C3.
I was going sort of... It occurred to me too, C4 as well. Do we know what that means, though?
Pythagoras does not. You feel as if you should. You feel as if you've seen this before, but it's not ringing any bells. You know that it's something... It's an organization of some kind. It's like on the tip of your tongue. It's like, I just can't do it. But Carapace... Carapace, you managed to puzzle it out. Because before you guys came to the induction ceremony today, you were probably watching the news. And on that news was a story about the Cybertron First Movement. It is an organization dedicated to keeping Cybertron for Autobots and Decepticons.
And not neutrals?
Not neutrals. They view neutrals as people who abandoned the war. Instead of fighting for their home, they chose to leave it. And the Cybertron First Movement believes that they have no claim to the planet.
Wow, that's so weird.
That's pretty ballsy, considering...
We hate each other. Now we're working together to... Wow, okay.
The hell that we're an extreme minority here.
Yeah.
Do they really need the whole planet of their own? I mean... Cybertron for the Cybertronians, huh?
That's right.
Or not even the Cybertronians. The fanatics.
Well, they aren't wrong.
Come again?
I think it'd be kind of interesting if one of your party was actually a member of this organization.
Well, are you?
Well, I mean, you all have excuses you weren't involved in the war. But the ones that were here, sure. They didn't take a side.
They didn't feel like fighting over the scrap heap that was left, dragging themselves down the dark streets.
I'm not entirely, for war, any kind of war, nothing personal against your war. I don't know, if it was a little bit closer, I might have cared a little bit more. You know how far Wildstrike is? It's pretty damn far.
Sure. That's why I'm saying you have an excuse. You weren't here. The people that were here...
A reason. We'll call it a reason. Don't want to use any excuse.
Excuse.
I like that. Make sure you don't be diplomatic or anything. Accidentally.
I happen to notice because, I speak politically. You haven't really answered the question whether or not you're part of this organization that we're talking about. You just kind of skirted around it.
No, I'm not part of the organization.
Okay.
I think it might be a little too extreme, though I don't think they're wrong in some of their beliefs.
I mean, wanting to deport 98% of the population. A little too extreme.
A little too extreme.
All right.
95%?
I'll go 90 and then
Okay.
cut it there.
Oh,
A bot's got to know its limits.
he's a moderate. You're all just sort of dark and clanky on the inside, man.
You would know.
Oh, yeah.
I personally don't care that the war's over. Peace is worse for business.
Crooks just wear a different uniform.
You help out in the plaza for a little while longer, and you're celebrated as heroes.
Well, they're not going to let us any more buildings, though.
He comes over to you and says, you guys help out the injured over here. This is a nice safe area for you. You can't get into any bombs.
The next thing you notice, he's got like a stack of injured, like, oh no, they all fall over.
You stay in the plaza for a few hours, helping out where you can, and the day kind of wears on. Most of the citizens that were not hurt have made their way out and are heading home. The ceremony obviously is going to be canceled, at the very least until they can reschedule and get some guarantee of safety.
As a memory, a lot was kind of going on at the same time. Did Starscream seem surprised when the bombs went off?
Yes, he did.
He did.
You weren't next to him, of course. Of course. From what you saw, it looked like he was as surprised as everyone else. In fact, everyone on the council looked shocked, and the few actual warriors on there were the ones, even they looked a bit surprised that someone would try something like this.
Right. What's the equivalent of like Cybertronian beer? Is there like a fast-acting fluid or something like Energon? Okay.
Oil as well.
Okay.
You can drink oil.
Zap Adams.
Cyber coolant.
Cybertron.
Yeah.
Cybertron. Oh.
So it's getting into evening, and Ironhide comes up to you, the five of you, kind of in a hushed tone.
The council is going to want to talk to you.
Okay. About what?
About what you saw in the building.
I saw a lobby.
Okay, so do they want to talk to us now?
They're gonna want to see you tomorrow. Get fixed up and repaired. I'll escort you myself.
Ironhide, do you know anyone who can maybe buff out these dens, take care of these injuries here real fast? I mean, I don't want to go before the council looking like this.
I get you. There's some repair workers up front near the stage. They can help you out.
I wouldn't want to bother you. Let's, all right, I guess I'm all right.
Well, this energon burning a hole in my pocket.
Pythagorean can fix me up nicely. Take care of the buffs and the paint, too.
He's not a plastic surgeon.
I just need a little touch-up.
It'll regenerate. Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll be nice and shiny. Don't worry. Anybody else need healing?
No, I'm down in stamina, which comes back just after resting.
Yeah, I can't help you in stamina.
Yeah.
What's our healing? Like overnight we heal back, or how does that work?
You heal your
level in hit points, and you get all of your stamina back.
Plus con, right?
No.
Level plus con, or just level?
Just level.
So that's 2 back.
All right. And
you
that
need more?
with a cycle rest should do me.
There are currently 13 members on the council.
Okay.
2 delegates from each of the planets on the council, with the exception of Earth. Earth only has 1 delegate. Cybertron is represented by Starscream and Rat Trap. Velocitron is represented by Knockout and Moonracer.
All right, our people.
Eucharis is represented by
Tigatron and Air Raven.
Division is represented by a pair of twins, Fireshot and Vanquish. Carcer is represented by Obsidian and Elita 1. Caminus is represented by Windblade and the Mistress of Flame.
The Mistress of Flame?
The Mistress of Flame.
Didn't realize she was real.
Junkion does not have a representative on the council because it never petitioned to actually be a member world of the council.
Oh, so it's a petition. It's not a.
Junkion doesn't have a central government anyway. Not anymore. I mean, it might have been a colony once, but it's pretty much just anarchy now.
So is there anything else you want to know about the council before you head into the meeting?
In Scarvix is its own planet. It's not part of...
Right. Scarvix is...
outside the Empire.
It's its own planet and its own thing. There are mechanical life forms that live there, and I'm sure a bunch of Cybertronians still live there, but also a bunch of biological beings and a ton of different races.
So are these guys like senators?
Essentially, yes. Their proper name is Delegate.
Okay.
So their official title would be Delegate Windblade and Delegate Tigatron.
So they're more like UN. This is like the UN.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
Starscream has his own separate title as the leader of Cybertron.
It's not like president or anything, right?
Right. He's the leader of Cybertron, but he's also a delegate on the Council of Worlds.
So he's like the head of the UN.
Not even. He's head of Cybertron, but he has no additional influence or no additional power on the council aside from being a delegate of Cybertron.
Okay. So there's like a 13, and like no one's vote carries more weight. Like he's not like 2 votes or anything.
Correct.
And the human does not get 2 votes.
Marissa Fairborn, so far, is the only delegate. But you would imagine that if the pattern continues, there would be another delegate from Earth at some point.
Spike. Delegate with Wiki to the floor.
So you're going to go? Anything beforehand?
Nope, just taking care of making sure everything is, take my mirror, check all the spots.
Make sure everything is buffed out, ready to go?
Oh yeah, buffed, shined, waxed, polished, gleaming.
Just recharged my weapons, which was only a single shot.
We represent.
You forgot to put your decals back on.
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. This is very embarrassing. Excuse me very much. I'll be right back. All right, now I'm ready.
Is this the next morning, or?
Unless you had something you wanted to do beforehand.
I got nothing.
Make sure my tie's tied straight.
Do you actually have like a bow tie or anything? Or is it just a long tie?
I mean, I haven't retied it for about 10 years, but I figured it was a good occasion. It's a special occasion.
So I just want to confirm this here. So you are a 15, 20-foot tall robot with a leather trench coat, fedora, and a tie.
Yeah.
Where do they go? Where did the clothes go when you transform?
That's getting sort of personal.
There's a little closet in the background.
Right.
They become drapes in the window.
I wonder if the curtains match the drapes.
I don't know. You couldn't be so lucky.
Curtains, drapes, same thing? You mean the carpet?
Carpet, that's what it was.
Wow. I have nothing but hardwood floors. Hard as the city in that cold rain.
Wood?
It's really hard wood. Maybe it's metal that looks like wood.
It's like
but nobody knows.
Foie bois?
Linoleum, maybe.
Hey, Ironhide arrives in the morning.
Come on, my friends. It's time to go meet the council before Starscream accuses you of being late.
Yeah, good morning to you too, Sunshine.
He takes you through Iacon, into Metroplex, into the main council chamber. Go ahead and make a perception check on the way in.
Oh, this does not bode well. I got a 9. Not proud of it, but there it is.
You don't hear anything. Okay. Rex.
Rex beat him, you got an 8.
You did beat him.
Well done. I know when I'm bested.
You hear nothing either.
Carapace rolled a 19, so his modifier is a 19.
You hear something.
Wildstrike at 20.
20?
Yeah.
And Magnum.
Get a 12.
You hear something. Just barely, though. It's like a whisper.
The whispering winds of despair.
So Carapace, Wildstrike, and Magnum, you all hear shouting coming from the council chamber. Not shouting as in fighting, shouting as in yelling at each other.
Yeah, bureaucrats, like, talking about shit.
They appear to be debating energetically.
Ironhide brings you in.
Just before we walk into the door, I'm like, are we walking into a shit show?
Naturally.
Always.
Yep, you are.
Okay. Wanted to see if you were honest.
If anything, Ironhide is honest.
Yeah, no. Is he a war hero? Like, I mean, like, is anybody considered heroic in the post-war?
Depends on who you're asking.
Well,
that's very true.
Was there a definitive winner?
Technically, the Autobots won, but it sort of just ended.
Only the war profiteers won.
But by all objective measurements, the Autobots did win. But the Decepticons dealt them such a significant blow before the end of the war that both sides were decimated and hurt really, really badly. So even though the Autobots technically did win because they were in charge after the fact, there's really no useful actual definition to a winner.
Basically a pirate victory is what it's called.
Head into the council chamber?
I do so full defensive, expecting to get shot at.
You're on your way to become a politician right there.
No, I'm a survivor.
I'll let the fast talk go first.
As well.
You all enter, and you see everyone kind of just yelling at each other. Starscream looks super pissed at most everyone.
That's usual, isn't it?
Is he openly Decepticon? Is that like a thing they can like take off? Like
he is not. He has given up his insignia. He does not identify himself as a Decepticon anymore. In fact, before the elections were called, he made a big show of being one of the first people to willingly give up his faction and call out everyone who didn't.
Are any of these people openly showing affiliations?
No, actually.
So everybody here is a neutral.
A neutral or a colonist. Most of the colonists don't subscribe to either faction, but a rare number of colonists have actually declared for Autobot or Decepticon and willingly joined that faction. But it was after the war was over, it's more about a political stance at this point than it is an actual meaning in that regard. So any colonist you see that actually has faction symbols generally have it as more of a political statement. You step into the chamber. Starscream stops yelling at the other delegates and looks towards you.
Well, finally you arrive. You've only kept us waiting for half a cycle. I suppose I should be grateful.
You want to start again? You're immediately putting us on the defensive, which means something's wrong with you. Would you like to start again?
Is that what you say?
Yes.
Awesome. Carapace doesn't take any bullshit, does he?
No. I'm like more natural. Like, someone does that, they're posturing. It's like, we're here on time. That means that there's something wrong with you.
You, shut up! You all have explaining to do, and we don't have the patience to listen to your nonsense.
Right, he just kind of ignored everything I just said, didn't he?
Maybe we should just sit here and ignore him.
Deep-seated anxieties and inadequacies.
Let's all just stare at him and nod.
This is an official inquiry into the events that happened yesterday. That building collapsed with you in it. And we want to know what happened.
Gravity. Eventually.
We've heard that the mark of the Cybertron First terrorist group was found in that building. Something that you neglected to mention to security forces.
Oh, that thing.
Are we to believe that you didn't notice it? Or is it more likely that you put it there?
No, I didn't bring my crayons.
Yeah, because if we did, we would have told you about it.
What are... Never mind. That's a question for another time.
You're just like, why?
Breathe.
I mean, you automatically hyperventilate, but even for you, and I'm starting to like you a lot. High five, you. Yeah. We're already a team.
It's his fault for letting us talk first.
So I'm slowly backing away like the Kool-Aid Man after busting through a wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
You, where do you think you're going?
Oh, I was...
As a member of the Velocitronian delegation, you are duty-bound to answer these questions.
I did not see the symbol to which you are asking?
No, it's perfectly logical. We went up there, drew the symbol, then we blew up the building. We're the only ones that saw it. Why would we do it in the first place?
He is being extremely sarcastic and not factual at all. Council members, they are under a lot of stress, as are we all, I'm sure.
I don't think anyone told Sweetie was pretty today. He's a little grumpy.
No, I was told I was pretty.
You are pretty, don't worry.
Is this a scuff?
Swear.
I cast self-consciousness on it.
Security forces caught up with the survivor you rescued. It was he who provided the information. It was he who told us what was there.
Well, that's nice. Good for him. Why would we put it there?
Why would you have allowed the building to be destroyed if it had evidence that the Cybertron First Movement was involved?
Bombs do that. Things go up, things fall down. It's the way life goes.
And it just happened to destroy all of the evidence.
Yeah, I'm afraid you caught us. We're brilliant masterminds. We hid the evidence by dropping a building on ourselves.
Pardon me for making a point of note, but did not the other two buildings on either side of the ones that we went into did not blow up and fall down?
No, they did not fall down.
They had some bombs go off. They had damage. I remember Ironhide. You remember that Ironhide, yes, eh? You told us to go into the center building, and these other fellas going into the building on the right, and these other fellas over here were going into the building on the left, but those two buildings did not fall down. So would it be safe to assume that there are some evidence in those two buildings that's still intact? Did anyone go check out those two buildings?
There was no evidence in those other buildings. The only building that had any so-called evidence was the one you five were in. The only reason that you're not under arrest right now is that the survivor corroborates your statement.
I mean, there were like 8 other dead people.
Well, they can't talk now, can they?
Oh, isn't that convenient?
I think that was probably the point.
Yeah. Yeah, the people in our building were killed before the bombs went off. So somebody came in, murdered a whole bunch of people, and then set off the bombs inadequately, apparently.
And then you guys told us to go in that building later.
It's almost like we were being set.
Yeah, so it sounds like this is Yeah.
No.
And we all know how unhonorable Ironhide is.
It almost sounds like we had nothing at all to do with it. But I mean, that's just a crazy theory.
Ironhide is in the room. He's actually standing at the back.
I think he probably just like defensive posturing, like covered his arms over, like, why are you saying that? Well, I can see your heart, Ironhide, because there's glass right here.
Why are you dragging me into this?
And you all know Ironhide is an honorable man.
So as Starscream is kind of berating you and trying to kind of shove this blame onto you, the representatives of your worlds come to your defense. So Knockout and Moonracer for you suits, and Tigatron and Airraiser for Carapace and Rex.
Decepticon land.
Looks like we got the 8 ball, don't we?
Don't you play pool with Starscream every Sunday or something?
Is he your little war buddy or something? Shit, you know?
He doesn't want to admit it, they play billiards.
Councilman Starscream, it seems like, on the surface, what you might be looking for here is a scapegoat, something to pin the whole attack on to settle the masses and fight the hysteria that might be going on outside these walls. However, what you have in front of you is a group of investigators who are actually at Ground Zero, who could probably find out, perhaps faster than most, what exactly did transpire.
Make a sense motive.
14. I could give you more if you would let me include my profession, diplomat.
I'll give you a bonus for that. You feel that this solution offers Starscream a way out, yet offers him essentially the option of kind of blaming you if you fail.
Instead of blaming us now.
Well, a more concrete version of that. So he could blame you now, but you all know that you have a good amount of kind of people behind you, a bit of
resource
clout.
So you know that you have a good amount of clout with the public behind you, and if Starscream were to just outright blame you and try to pin this on you, he'd have some problems for it. But if you investigate this on your own, or with the council's sanction, if you fail, it's your own fault.
Yeah, you're alley-ooping a win-lose, when theoretically you should be trying to alley-oop us a win-win. Like, so even if we fail, we're scot-free, and if we succeed, then we get a benefit. And as a fast-thinking politician, that's your bag, baby.
Yeah. My first thought was that he was trying to pin us right from the get-go, and I wanted to get out of that hole before I start climbing the ladder.
You do feel that you're kind of making roads towards that.
So I'm just trying to think of so this is more of like an outer character because we're collectively smarter than any one of us. How could we set it up so that we can set up a win-win? So that even if we fail, Starscream's in the clear, and if we succeed, then we're rewarded.
We could instead become an investigation group, maybe an appointed committee.
It's all the same. If we work for them at all, but I mean, I don't know. Magnum doesn't really care if they blame us if we fail. You don't get the perp, you don't get the perp, you know?
Yeah.
Technically, we don't have to do anything for them.
No, we don't.
We can't blame us. Obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
So we could walk out of here and be like, okay, go investigate.
Yeah. He's bluffing. We could call his bluff.
We could investigate for you, but we could just ignore you as well because we obviously have nothing better to do right now.
You said to him?
I don't know. Are we still talking to them? I guess.
He's talking. You say you are.
You kind of did it in the voice.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did in the voice.
If you say it in character
I'm
voice.
starting to think that in the voice.
I do that voice.
Hey, suck it, Starscream.
It was him.
Wow, you learned ventriloquism. I heard your voice coming out of this spot.
I'm very talented.
One of the other delegates, Windblade of Camus, kind of breaks in and make a culture check.
Everyone?
Yeah, anyone wants to. See what you guys remember or what you know about Windblade.
Pythagoras probably would know, but Magnum doesn't have a clue.
You don't have culture?
It's not trained. No, I wanted to, but I just couldn't have the points. You know, it would have been a good one.
There are aspects of culture that you can do untrained.
I don't really know how culture works. I mean, he doesn't get it. He's a straight 0 without anything. But I mean, I wanted to train that one, but I just didn't get to it. I mean, I could transform, but I don't know what the protocol for that is.
Sweet spot got a 21.
You know that she is one of the delegates from Camus. She's also one of the major opponents of Starscream, political opponent. She works with him when it is relevant and when it is good for Cybertron, good for all the colonies. But she does provide opposition to some of his more draconic policies and a lot of his scheming. The two of them are often seen together, and they kind of play off each other quite a bit.
So this is one of those enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Awesome.
Stars things.
Yeah. Now, Sweet, you got a 21, which means you get to find out a little bit more. Is there anything in particular you would like to know?
Does she have Any non-political connections that she's tied with? Maybe former military trained and such? Anyone who might be inclined to be joined in this Cybertron First Movement? Does she know any terrorists, man?
You don't believe, from everything that she has said publicly, that she would go in with any kind of Cybertron First Movement, because her primary, not role, but her primary political view is about unity with the colonies. So, when Cybertron discovered Caminus, or when the space bridge finally linked to Caminus provided a lot of resources to Cybertron that Cybertron needed, and Cybertron provided a lot of energy to Caminus, which Caminus needed. So the two are interconnected very, very well. So if something were to happen to Cybertron, it would actually be a negative to Caminus.
Flip side of that coin, then. I think she might be one of, say, a prime target for the Cybertron First Movement? Take her out, it would really hurt the joining of Cybertron and Caminus.
From what you remember about Cybertron First, they don't care about the colonies as much as neutral Cybertronians. They don't dislike the colonists as long as they remain colonists. If you can visit, you can bring some resources with you and all that. You can even immigrate, and that's fine. But as long as you didn't abandon the war.
The colonists are doing just what they wanted, not being there.
Is she a vehicle former, or?
She's a jet, but kind of a unique one. She, instead of having like jet engines, she has like 2 turbines in her wings as like a VTOL.
Oh, okay. So she's got the air blade. Okay. That's what I was trying to think. I'm like, is she a helicopter? Like, like I was. Awesome. Yeah.
Is the Mistress of the Flame here?
She is. She's standing next to Windblade.
Nope, I should let Pythagoras out.
Why is that
She's like, I don't remember if you'd call her like the head religious figure or like the goddess, or I don't think they worship her, or she's basically like the Pope on Camion.
Space Pope.
Space Pope.
Robo. Robo Pope.
Robo.
So Windblade stands up and kind of directs Starscream's attention to her.
Lord Starscream, maybe these fine bots have a point. They can investigate this matter, leaving your security forces to deal with security matters. After all, Ironhide's security detachment is stretched thin. We are in desperate need of investigators. Bots that are not simply security guards, but groups that can be seen as a truly independent organization. And most importantly, one that does not appear to be your security force. Maybe these bots can do this for us.
Knockout stands up as well, and he kind of adds to this discussion. And we have a representative of the council here on the team already.
Thank you, Councilman.
Wait, a representative of the council?
Well, technically, I'm a junior member.
So you're one of the 13, or you're just like you're the corollary to their...
I'm like the runner-up. In case one of them can't perform their duties, I'm up next.
He's the 16th man on the bench.
Okay.
Starscream looks around at the delegates, and it seems like Windblade and Knockout are really kind of carrying the conversation on this one.
Just like, do you and Starscream have like a thing? Like, dude, why are you being a bitch? We're like jet brothers,
Jet bros?
So I just assume that all Decepticons are like bros, They're like
flashing him a wing. Look, jet. Decepticon right here.
You're doing the symbol. Like, you all know it's there.
Jet besties?
Yeah.
This is like
the symbol, so fuck him.
Right.
Oh.
But you might know the truth that he only did that to be a, to be a
it would have been
politician.
more convincing if he hadn't used crayon to...
So yeah, Starscream kind of looks around and sees the kind of the tide of opinion kind of turning against him a little bit. So he knows the kind of which direction this is turning. So he is going to spin it to his own idea.
Yes, that plan is quite good. I want you 5 to investigate this. Leave no stone unturned. And when you find out who did this, when you find out who is responsible for this, you come to me and you tell me what you find.
No, we're gonna investigate it, but not tell you.
Well, we'll make our report known to the council, Lord Starscream.
What does the human feel about this?
Because it's motive.
Against a biological?
Penalty, I imagine.
I have a 6. Without whatever the penalty you should give me is.
She looks bored.
Okay. So I relate to that, though.
Wow.
She's probably like, when can I go home?
I know, right?
Giant stegosaurus, sports car, and a robot wearing a trench coat. If that doesn't entertain him, he's in for a rough ride.
It's a woman, right?
Marissa Fairboy.
Right.
Like, do we even recognize gender?
females.
Yeah, they have gender. Like that's and it's not just like a personality archetype. It's like
And I noticed her eyes keep like changing. Like just for a second, they look like eyes, and then they look like all fleshy. Then their eyes again. And she keeps doing it.
I heard of this. I think it's what, blunking? Blunking?
Yeah,
Blunking.
Is she blunking at you?
Notice that her body's like moving too a little bit.
Yeah, she's winking at you. I mean, she likes you.
Wink? Is that like blunking?
Usually you do it with one eye, but if you do it with both eyes, I think it means she really, really likes you.
Ironhide, escort these bots out. You all have your mission. What are you still doing here? Get to it!
All right. Do you want the perp dead or alive?
Alive. To stand trial, then we'll execute them.
That's actually telling. That's actually telling. That means he's probably not involved. Because that was a gut reaction. He responded with, he wants him alive. If he was involved, he would want him dead.
Good point.
That's wiser than I have. So somebody... Do we have anyone wise in this group?
Yeah, I have a decent... Magnum has good wisdom.
Okay, cool. It's good to have one.
Everybody needs one.
Doesn't mean his choices are good.
Clearly, look at the coat.
Ironhide will gather you up and escort you guys out of the council chamber.
He's a dick.
Whiny little bugger, isn't he?
He's an obsolete part. Like he's
what a piece of junk.
Yeah.
He's definitely a carburetor.
Yeah.
So Ironhide kind of talks to you for a few minutes, just kind of the layout of the area. And as you're finishing up with Ironhide, it looks like the council has kind of gone out of session. 2 bots leave the council chambers. You kind of recognize them going off in the back as either aides or staff to the councilors. 3 of you recognize some of the bots that come up. Sweet Spot recognizes Clocker, one of the staff members of the Velocitronian Council, transforms into a race car.
Don't they all?
And Carapace and Rex recognize Depth Charge from Eucharis.
Depth? Death?
Depth charge.
Depth.
One other thing, just before we leave Ironhide and this sort of stuff happens, I kind of pull him aside. I'm like, just between you and me, who would win in a fight between you and Starscream?
Me, of course.
Damn right. See?
Screamer's got nothing on me.
What? So who are these people again?
Depth Charge is one of the staff and one of the people who work with the council, specifically the Eucharan delegates. And Clocker is one of the essentially one of the diplomatic corps of Velocitron. Similar in position to you, except a bit higher
on the roster.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Okay.
So his top speed's like a little bit more than yours. Is that how your system works? I think.
I beat in a race. That's why you didn't get the job.
He's got like nitrous in him.
No. I placed very high.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Not high enough.
They caught him doing nitro.
Well, I thought that's what their blood was.
Well, some positions you can't even race for unless you've got the experience.
And Clocker will come up to you. Wildstrike and Magnum, are you guys going to hang around and listen to these two? And if you are, who are you going to listen to?
And listen to both.
You should go talk to Starscream.
I don't want to talk to Starscream.
Okay, I agree with that. I can't argue with that.
I thought you were like his little brother.
I heard enough from him already.
How could he be your leader? How could you stand it?
I have a feeling that these walls have heard that phrase many times.
I guess I don't know. I'll stand behind and listen. I don't know, but I can't listen to both, right? Maybe I can.
Well, maybe you can.
Transform into a building and you can hear all sorts of conversations.
You can listen to both, but if you want to contribute or ask questions, you'll have to pick one or the other. You can't ask questions of both at the same time.
We're standing way over here. He's over there. Just
where your head can be in one place and your body can be in another. Can your body talk without its head?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My head over to the other, then Pythagoras over to the other group. Now, Pythagoras will go over to the Lostronians. And,
boo! I like the vending machine better anyway.
The vending machine will sit next to them and just listen.
Can you turn into a chair? I guess part of your...
Well, they have little chairs, yeah.
But not a person-sized chair.
Yeah, well, depending who you call a person.
And where is Wildstrike going?
Wildstrike is going with the Velocitronians.
So Pythagoras and Wildstrike both with Clocker, and Magnum is going to transform near the Eucalyptus.
Gives us something to lean on.
Can you walk around without your head? Can you be a headless robot, or can the only way, if the head jumps off, then your body is forced to transform into its building?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't.
Okay, let me turn the sign. Out of character.
Out of character? No, he can't. He's stuck in a building without his head.
Okay, that's kind of funny. So,
if he had a third alt form, he could do that. So
you're the main personality, but he's...
Well, yeah. When he's a bot, he's the main personality, yeah. Much to Pythagoras' chagrin.
Step charge comes up to the two of you, and Magnum's...
body. Our vending machine? We like some Pop-Tarts?
Coke, hot coffee, Fritos.
I know Starscream was unreasonable, but he is correct in that the Cybertron First Movement needs to be dealt with. I've been sent by Tigatron and Air Razor to answer any questions you have, or to point you in any direction that you need.
Where are the Cybertronian First hiding?
I think he means that we need, and he knows.
Oh.
If I knew where they were hiding, it would have been dealt with by now.
Sometimes you just got to ask the right question.
So where do we start? Do they have you don't know where they are, but do you normally find them somewhere? Do we have an inside man? Is there anything?
We don't. You can head back to the building and see if there's any other clues. You can ask around town. I would probably recommend starting with either Autobots or Decepticons, because they don't hold with neutrals and they don't talk with colonists very often.
So this is not a legitimate political organization. They have no public face. Oh, it's considered a terrorist organization.
That's what we think of them as, yes.
Are there any groups, any political units that sympathize or would have some similar views?
Official political organizations, no. Some Autobots and some Decepticons do sympathize with their philosophy.
Any fringe parties?
Nothing that is known, no.
Well, we'll need to shake down the sympathizers then.
You won't find any representatives from them on any colonist groups. You will find them hidden among the hardline Autobots and Decepticons.
Were any of the traces of the bombs recovered? Is it something homemade? Is it traceable?
We haven't gotten a trace for it yet, but you can talk with Wheeljack, the head of the science director. He might be able to provide you some answers to that.
Wheeljack, huh?
How much leeway do we have here? We're walking around shaking people down. I know what was the name? Iron Horse?
Ironhide.
Ironhide knows us. Obviously, the council knows us, but are we under the radar? We're going to get thrown in jail? We start pushing people, or what?
Well, don't commit any crimes, but, but if you have to get information from the Cybertron First people, then by all means get it. We'd vastly prefer actual prisoners, but
There's no, like, bribery, because there's no currency. Like, we don't say, like, here, give us 5,000 credits to buy some people's things, because that doesn't really exist here, right?
We trade, John. Or trade parts, weapons, equipment.
Right.
Fees or whatever.
So have we heard of Wheeljack?
You have.
Well, since we're like all Yukaran and we respect our animal nature, do we have anything that can like trace things by scent, like on a chemical level? Yeah, could we have access to like a tracker?
Certain Yukarans have that ability.
I'm looking for one of those people to help us. Do you have access to said person?
We need a handkerchief from the scene, basically, of the crime.
Well, yeah. Well, we need someone who can sniff the handkerchief. Because you don't have scent.
I don't have scent.
I mean, but at the same time, like, we could just get, like, a chem analyzer. Like, you know, I mean, if there's something along those sort of things where it's like, hey, guess what? This machine...
I have a chemalizer. But Pythagoras has a chemalizer.
Okay. I mean, can that track things by scent?
You could probably modify it. I mean, best to get a sample of, the chemicals. If we could talk to Wheeljack, get the information, then that would be a big step.
I'll put you in touch with Wolfang. He can certainly track things by scent.
Cool.
What's the name? Wolfface?
Wolfang.
Wolfang.
Wolfang
Amadeus. Fuck. So Wheeljack and Wolfang, I think we kind of have our people to talk to. Now, Velocitronians have had 10 conversations in the amount of time it took us to take this one.
Alright, so Clocker comes up to you.
Clocker, how you doing?
Sweet spot, how you doing?
Pretty good.
How's your pole position hanging?
Brought up, couple spots there, sweets.
Oh, that's pretty good. I want you to meet my friends here. This is Pythagorean and Wildstrike.
Hi, Pythagoras, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi, Wildstrike, how you doing?
What's the word from inside?
Well, Knockout and Moonracer both want to offer their apologies.
Accepted. You can pass that along to him.
I most certainly will.
What else?
They wanted me to come over to you and to make certain that you are all set and you have the resources you need to continue your investigation.
What resources were they thinking that we might need?
They do not know. They want you to... If there's anything you need to ask for, they want to provide it to you.
Very well. Phyllis, what do you think? Think we're going to need anything special to get our investigation done?
Yeah, what about it? Do you think you guys are going to need anything?
Access to all the physical evidence that's been gathered.
That's probably going to be a given. You think we can get that?
I think so.
All right, we'll put that on the list. What else?
Considering these are dangerous criminals, we might need some heavy weaponry to go up against them.
If and when?
What kind of armaments do you think you're going for?
Some sort of high-powered rifles.
Come on now, don't downshift on me.
I think we might be able to provide some equipment for you.
All right, so that's on the list. What else?
If we need to analyze the chemicals or build any custom equipment, a machine shop or a laboratory would be helpful. Don't have to have it, but it would be useful. And resources like in raw materials to do such.
I'll put you in touch with Wheeljack. He might be able to help you in that regard.
Wheeljack, I heard about him. Used to work for the Autobots?
He used to be an Autobot. In fact, I think he still is an Autobot.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
He's the head of the science director right now.
Did you notice that our friend here is a Decepticon? Probably wearing it.
I did.
Boss gotta have beliefs, you know?
It's a bold statement you're making. A very bold statement.
Well, he's a bull bot.
It might come in handy.
I know that I asked you directly if you were a part of this movement, but do you know anyone who might be a part of the movement that we should probably talk to?
No, I don't. But...
Are you part of the Cybertron First Movement?
I already asked him that.
You did?
Yeah, he answered no. Right?
Right.
But I'm terribly sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You were about to say something very important, I think.
I don't even remember now.
That's understandable. Sometimes my speeches go right off the rails as well.
We need a list of persons of interest. Anyone who sympathizes.
That's a good idea. I think we're going to need a list of anyone who might possibly be a suspect that you would have already been investigating for said crimes against the bots.
And credentials to access anywhere we might not otherwise be able to access.
Authority.
And the ability to question whoever we need to.
The credentials are going to pose a bit of a problem because we are not in charge of Cybertron. Starscream is.
Well, it depends on whether he wants us to fail or succeed. Might be a lot easier if we had some official way to do it.
We were a suspect when we walked into that fucking room. So that's half the planet if Starscream has anything to say about it.
Well, I'm sure you could probably lobby on our behalf for such goals.
I'll do what I can.
I know you will. You'll probably succeed.
We could also use some information on what you know about this organization. We know a little bit about it, but I'm sure you guys might have more information on it.
Probably a lot more intel.
Think I can do that?
Well, if that's all set, I see they are still talking.
Leaning on that vending machine. This is a comfy spot.
So when's the last time you were back at Wildstrike?
Oh, very, very recently. I just came here for the induction ceremony for Earth.
You know, I've been here for almost a year. I have yet to find a proper racetrack.
I don't think they have racetracks here.
Not any real ones. I've been going up and down the streets like a madman. Madbot.
You should see the parking tickets. No, the speeding tickets.
You only get tickets if you get caught.
You know what I heard? I heard that one of the bartenders here is actually a former racer.
Former racer? From Wildstrike?
Not from Velocitron.
From right here?
From right here?
A local racer.
A local racer. He actually came to Velocitron and raced in the Speedia 500.
Speedia 500 and won. Wait a minute. What's his name?
Blur.
Blur? I heard about Blur.
Did he accidentally become president?
Blur's not a Velocitronian?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, really made a stir when he showed up and won. That's amazing. I have to get a drink at his bar. Where's his bar located?
It's in McAdam's new oil house.
McAdam's new oil house. Oh, is that the one with shiny sign on the side?
Yeah. Of course. Why wouldn't it be shiny?
Everything's shiny in Velocitron.
Our good fashion sense is rubbed off on him.
Almost as shiny as you are, Sweets.
Oh, well, thank you very much for noticing. Don't think that racing stripe got by my notice. I seen that. You didn't have that last time.
Oh my, oh my.
Well, they're still talking, but I think they're about ready to wrap it up. Good seeing you, sir.
You too.
It was nice to be able to conversate at that speed again.
What is the first place you want to head to?
Sounds like the bar.
The bar?
It's on the way to everywhere.
Wheeljack's the common.
Yeah, I was going to say Wheeljack. He's the man with the plan.
So you guys get to Wheeljack's lab next time.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun. This is Blaster, blasting out to the airwaves, bringing you the latest and greatest hits and news updates. I have big news for you today, so keep those audio receptors turned up to the max. Empire of Rust was created, written, and GM'd by Michael Ordway. Carapace is played by Patrick Finn. Wildstrike, the Decepticon, is played by Mike M. Pythagoras and Magnum are played by Matthew G. Sweet Spot is played by Adam I. Chu. And last but no way least, Rex and his Dino Buds, Laser, Grazer, and Laser are played by Rob Muller. Keep the hits coming by supporting the show at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And tune in to the Transmissions Network for all your Transformers news and reviews. This is Blaster, the voice of Cybertron's airwaves, blasting out.